Well, a very good afternoon. You're watching Lunchtime News on TV1, starting off with a look at your headlines for this afternoon.
Mahinda Yapa Abewardena appointed as Speaker of the 9th Parliament of Sri Lanka. MP Ranjit Siyambalapitiya to the post of Deputy Speaker. Sajid Premadasa recognized as Opposition Leader of the 9th Parliament. Central Bank announces concessions. Maximum interest rate on credit cards reduced to 18%. Barack Obama's address to the Democratic National Convention says Trump treats the presidency as one more reality show.
The inaugural sitting of the 9th Parliament of the Democratic Socialist Republic of Sri Lanka commenced at 9:30 this morning.
At the commencement of today's proceedings, the extraordinary gazette issued by the President convening Parliament was read out.
Sri Lanka Prajatantrika Samajawadi Janaraje ආණ්ඩුක්‍රම ව්‍යවස්ථාවේ 70 වන ව්‍යවස්ථාවෙන් මා වෙත පැවරී ඇති බලතල ප්‍රකාර ජනාධිපති ගෝඨාභය රාජපක්ෂ වන මම වර්ෂ 2020ක් වූ අගෝස්තු මාස 20 වන දින පෙරවරු 9:30ට ශ්‍රී ජයවර්ධනපුර පාර්ලිමේන්තුවේ රැස්වීම් ශාලාවේදී පාර්ලිමේන්තුව රැස්වන ලෙස කැඳවන බව මෙයින් දැනගත යුතුය. වර්ෂ 2020ක් වූ අගෝස්තු මාස 13 වන දින වූ මෙදින කොළඹදී නිකුත් කරන ලදී. අතිගරු ජනාධිපතිතුමාගේ අන පරිදි පී.බී. ජයසුන්දර ජනාධිපති ලේකම්.
The General Secretary of the Parliament then asked that a name be nominated for the post of the Speaker of Parliament.
මෙම අවස්ථාවේදී මම ආරාධනා කරනවා පාර්ලිමේන්තුවේ මන්ත්‍රීවරයෙකුට කතානායකතුමා වශයෙන් යම් මන්ත්‍රීතුමෙකුගේ නමක් යෝජනා කරන ලෙස.
Mahinda Yapa Abewardena, who was elected to Parliament from the Mathura district, was nominated by Minister Dinesh Gunawardena.
පාර්ලිමේන්තුවේ ගරු කතානායකතුමා ලෙස ගරු පාර්ලිමේන්තු මන්ත්‍රී මහින්ද යාපා අබේවර්ධන මැතිතුමාගේ නම යෝජනා කිරීමට
කතානායක ධූරයේ සඳහා දිනේෂ් ගුණවර්ධන මැතිතුමා විසින් යෝජනා කරන ලද මහින්ද යාපා අබේවර්ධන මැතිතුමාගේ නම මම ස්ථීර කරනවා.
The name was seconded by Randit Madhuma Bandara of the Samagi Jana Balawegaya. They also escorted the new speaker to his seat.
මහින්ද යාපා අබේවර්ධන නැමැති මම ශ්‍රී ලංකා ප්‍රජාතාන්ත්‍රික සමාජවාදී ජනරජයේ ආණ්ඩුක්‍රම ව්‍යවස්ථාව ආරක්ෂා කොට අනුගමනය කරන බවටද ශ්‍රී ලංකාවේ දේශය තුල වෙනම රජයක් පිහිටුවීමට කෙලින්ම හෝ අන්‍යාකාරයකින් ශ්‍රී ලංකාව තුලදී හෝ ඉන් පිටදී ආධාර දීම අනුබල දීම අනුග්‍රහය දැක්වීම මුදල් යෙදවීම ධෛර්යය දීම හෝ දේශනා කිරීම නොකරන බවටද ගෞරව බහුමානයෙන් යුක්තව ප්‍රකාශ කොට ප්‍රතිඥා දෙමි.
The speaker then took oaths and 221 MPs were sworn in thereafter. Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa congratulated the new speaker.
නවවන පාර්ලිමේන්තුවේ අභිනව කතානායකවරයා වශයෙන් තේරීපත් වීම පිළිබඳව
On behalf of the President and the government, I congratulate you on your appointment as the Speaker of the 9th Parliament. You have received your education from the Telitjavila College and the Rahula College in Mathura, and you are a degree holder from the University of Colombo. You were elected into Parliament from the Hakmana seat in 1983. Today you have become the third citizen of the country. I'm proud that you are a Speaker who was appointed from the South. I'm certain of your ability to work impartially and independently.
මම සිහිපත් කරන්න කැමතියි. දකුණු පළාතෙන් බිහි වුණු කතානායකතුමෙකු වශයෙන් ඔබතුමා පත්වීම පිළිබඳව මට නිහතමානී ආඩම්බරයක් තියෙනවා. පාර්ලිමේන්තුවට ඔබතුමා පක්ෂපාතී ස්වාධීන කටයුතු කරන අවශ්‍ය ශක්තිය හා ධෛර්යය ඔබතුමාට තියෙනවා. ඒ වගේම ඔබතුමාට ලැබේවායි කියලා ප්‍රාර්ථනා කරනවා.
The party leaders then added their congratulatory messages to the new speaker.
Mr. Speaker, democratically elected parliament is the epitome of a functioning democracy. It is incumbent upon all of us to protect and promote a vibrant and sound democracy. Right Honourable Speaker, sir, as the custodian of this august assembly, you are ethically and morally obliged to uphold the great principles of democracy and the legitimacy of this institution, it is incumbent upon you to be equitable, impartial, unbiased, and non-prejudicial. It is incumbent upon you to nourish and nurture these main ingredients of democracy.
With your long experience in Parliament, I have not the slightest doubt that you will discharge your functions effectively and efficiently in the way to all members of Parliament. May I clearly state, Honourable Speaker, that I and my party will extend to you our maximum cooperation that you will expect of us in the discharge of your functions as Honourable Speaker. Thank you.
We have in the past attempted to introduce many reforms within the House, the way in which this House conducts its affairs, and also to maintain the dignity and decorum of the affairs of this Assembly. These progressive measures, I hope, under your esteemed leadership, will be maintained.
Honorable Speaker, I would like to congratulate you on behalf of Ceylon Workers Congress and the Indian origin community. I have the honor and privilege of being the youngest member in this House, and what I have seen is that people have given this government the mandate to work, and under your guidance and under your leadership, I'm sure we can bring a change to Mother Sri Lanka. Thank you.
We must not forget, Mr. Speaker, that all parties represented in this House come here today with their respective mandates. Those mandates must be respected. Those mandates must be voiced. Those mandates must be debated, and due place must be given. In a House that is so heavily weighted on one side, it is your responsibility to ensure that such debates and such fairness takes place.
We have a very powerful government now. A similar government was constituted under the late J.R. Jayawardena in 1977. It was during that regime that we had the 1983 program. Certainly this government too could follow the path of the elephant of that time and end up as today reduced to a single member in the future. But I'm sure they would not. They would prefer to learn from our mistakes of the past and usher in a period of peace and prosperity where all communities would feel equal to each other and walk with dignity and pride as children of Mother Lanka.
මේ පාර්ලිමේන්තු තුළ මන්ත්‍රීවරයෙක් ලෙස විශාල අත්දැකීම් සම්භාරයක් තිබෙනවා. සියලු අංශවල සියලු විශේෂේත්‍රවල රැදගත්
Kegol District Parliamentarian Ranjit Siambalapitiya was appointed as the Deputy Speaker of Parliament. His name was nominated by Nimal Siripala de Silva and was seconded by MP Duminda Disanayaka. Minister Dinesh Gunawardena was appointed as the Leader of the House. The Opposition Leader of the 9th Parliament is Sajith Premadasa, the Leader of the Samagi Jana Balawegaya.
සභාවේ කටයුතු අද දින පස්වරු 3 දක්වා తాවකාලිකව අත්හිටවනු ලැබේ.
Madhura Vithanage, who was elected to Parliament from the Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna from the Colombo district, arrived at the Parliament today in a boat. He is among the 81 parliamentary debutants. The Parliament is located in a scenic location. We are able to come here in a boat thanks to the President. There is a traffic congestion. The people have this option, but many were not interested. We hope to provide a solution to the traffic situation very soon. We hope to develop transportation methods of this nature using the Navy and the SLRDC. We will be able to provide a solution. The parliamentary session is to commence at 3 p.m. under the auspices of President Gotabaya Rajapaksa. News First will be bringing you the details of the afternoon session through a special news telecast on our network. Moving along, the Monetary Board at the Central Bank of Sri Lanka revised the regulated interest rates of credit cards. Thereby, the Monetary Board has decided to reduce the maximum interest rate on credit cards to 18%. The remaining revised interest rates are as follows. Maximum interest rate on pawning facilities of gold jewelry 10%. Maximum interest rate on pre-arranged temporary overdrafts 16%. Penal interest rate over the regular interest rate 2.00 percentage points. The Monetary Board of the Central Bank of Sri Lanka, at its meeting held yesterday, decided to maintain the standing deposit facility rate and the standing lending facility rate of the central bank at their current levels of 4.50% and 5.50% respectively. Gammatha successfully completed another drinking water project at the Maramandia Secondary School in Mathura. The project is being vested with the students today. We cross over to Ruhaza Irfan, who joined the delighted students and the area residents in Maramandia.
I am currently at the Mathura Maramandia Secondary School, where a drinking water project is being launched by Gammatha for the school children. Now about 200 students receive education in this school, and taps and tanks have been installed for these children to access clean drinking water. Now stay close to News First to know the very latest updates. For the News First team, I am Ruhaza Irfan.
In international news, Barack Obama accused Donald Trump of treating the U.S. presidency like one more reality show in a withering speech to the Democratic Convention.
The former U.S. president said his Republican successor hasn't grown into the job because he can't.
I have sat in the Oval Office with both of the men who are running for president. I never expected that my successor would embrace my vision or continue my policies. I did hope, for the sake of our country, that Donald Trump might show some interest in taking the job seriously, that he might come to feel the weight of the office and discover some reverence for the democracy that had been placed in his care. But he never did. For close to 4 years now, he has shown no interest in putting in the work, no interest in finding common ground, no interest in using the awesome power of his office to help anyone but himself and his friends. No interest in treating the presidency as anything but one more reality show that he can use to get the attention he craves. Donald Trump hasn't grown into the job because he can't. And the consequences of that failure are severe. 170,000 Americans dead. Millions of jobs gone, while those at the top taken more than ever. Our worst impulses unleashed. Our proud reputation around the world badly diminished. And our democratic institutions threatened like never before.
At the White House, Mr. Trump hit back that he was only elected because of the horror Mr. Obama left Americans.
President Obama and Joe Biden, because if they did a good job, I wouldn't be here. And probably if they did a good job, I wouldn't have even run. I would have been very happy. I enjoyed my previous life very much. But they did such a bad job that I stand before you as president. Thank you all very much.
On the third night of the Democratic conference, Kamala Harris accepted the vice presidential nomination. The Biden-Harris ticket will challenge President Trump and his Vice President Mike Pence for the White House in the election on the 3rd of November. Kamala Harris made her first remarks as the first black Asian American vice presidential candidate in U.S. history by highlighting the importance of the 100th anniversary of the 19th Amendment, which gave women the right to vote.
This week marks the 100th anniversary of the passage of the 19th Amendment, and we celebrate the women who fought for that right. I accept your nomination for Vice President of the United States of America. I do so committed to the values she taught me, to the word that teaches me to walk by faith and not by sight, and to a vision passed on through generations of Americans, one that Joe Biden shares, a vision of our nation as a beloved community where all are welcome, no matter what we look like, no matter where we come from or who we love. A country where we may not agree on every detail, but we are united by the fundamental belief that every human being is of infinite worth, deserving of compassion, dignity, and respect. A country where we look out for one another, where we rise and fall as one, where we face our challenges and celebrate our triumphs together. Today, that country feels distant. Donald Trump's failure of leadership has cost lives and livelihoods.
From that, we bring to a close this edition of Lunchtime News on TV1. For details of these stories and much more, simply log on to our website, www.newsfirst.lk. For the News First team, I'm Martin Satyanesan, along with producer Hajiram Huin. You have yourself a wonderful day.